Okay. I was hoping to make this a little cleaner for you guys, so it's less of me yapping and more like just here are all the lineups, but here are all the lineups. For A long, the best one is to line up the left side of your right charge diamond with this corner. So just look at this corner. Put your little diamond in there, and then it's a middle bar.
Revealing area.
No bounce or anything. Lands right here. Scans all of this. Scans all of long. So you'll know if they're pushing long at all. It's a great starter for round dart. I use it all the time. You guys will see me. One dart I don't trust very much, but we'll use sometimes is you go to the barrier,
right
which
here,
is like about here, and you look at the underside of this curve, like the dark shadow there, and you just one bounce middle chunk.
Scanning ahead.
You should land right in the middle of this doorway. If they know it's coming, they can maybe time it. Generally, they can't. It's not perfect though, but if they've been pushing sewer a lot, it's a good one to not get surprised because they won't swing you with it up at least. It's pretty breakable though, so I wouldn't trust it all the way. For A execs, I actually only have one lineup I consistently use. There's a couple others that I don't, that I probably will mess up, so I might not tell you. The one I use is I just go against this back wall until I see a tiny little crack here, and then I full charge one bounce it just around these stones. Basically, I just look at like this stone.
Revealing area.
It's not super precise at all, but it lands right here. And so it scans all of the like normal anchoring positions. It doesn't scan tucked on this box. It doesn't scan hell, and it doesn't scan here in CT, but it should get everything else. One that I wouldn't use, but people do sometimes, is you can also just sort of this wall is the wall by heaven, so fall damage. You can also just sort of two-bar
revealing area,
and it'll also end up on that wall. But I'm too far from my team when I do that, so I don't like that one very much. The good ones for garage are both really hard to
30 seconds left.
Keep them in our sights.
Because I use the barrier for them. You can do it, but you end up just sort of looking at the wall for too long. But you can tell where you're at the barrier because there's like a middle line on both of these. So if you need to do it
right here
mid-round, you can. But it's easiest with the barrier.
Ready.
But you're going to be looking at this corner here, and you're going to be looking at the UI bar. So see how like by the time there's that little point. You're just going to do full charge,
scanning ahead,
double bounce, looking at the ground when the UI point is right here. So once again, it's just like this.
Scanning ahead.
This one's a little slow, and you can get peeked from doors before, but it lands here. So if they're literally in this room anywhere, they won't get scanned. They could be hiding back here in the window, and they could be like here as well. So these are things to be aware of. But it's pretty good. It's nice for getting a dart kill too, or it's really good for like clearing judges or things like that. The other one that's faster, which I try not to do because honestly it's a bit inconsistent, but you can't get peeked because you're behind this, is this notch before, like there's like the door line and there's one to the left. If you look at just the bottom of this, you can full charge bounce it, but it's very narrow and I fuck it up
revealing area
consistently. Like right then I fucked it up. I gotta look a little more down.
Scanning ahead.
But it goes right through. It's so narrow. It lands here, but it lands ultra fast. So if you want to spam kill like a sage wall, I go for this one when we're trying to spam a sage or similar type thing pretty frequently. Besides that, there's not really a good dart. There's not really like a fancy dart for sight that I use here.
Scanning ahead.
Gotta eat this guy. And it should, the more left
right here,
the better. I do have exec lineups for C long though. There's one that I do from barrier drop, which is there's this like scar on the wall that's sort of like, I don't know, bird beak shaped. It's pretty obvious because it's like in this plastery circle. And you just look at, there's these leaves, boink boink, and you just look at sort of the wishbone tip of them, and you two bar it.
Revealing area.
Yeah, the middle chunk. The bars, everyone says it's different bar. So this lineup is really consistent. And it scans basically everything. It scans it scans platform, it scans site, it scans logs. The only thing you can do is completely tucked against the wall, it won't get you. So you just need to be kind of aware of that. Normally there's so much shit though, like if they're tucked against the wall and they're stuck here and they just have to wait out the whole dart if they don't break it, which means you can then scale up long. So it's really good if you want to go like ultra fast. I do that. It also gets operas on top of the box, so that's good as well. There's a better version of this dart that's more annoying, and I can't get it consistent all the time, but you go to this line, and you look at just above this like beam, it's gonna end up bouncing off of it, but there's a little bit of drop, so you gotta look slightly above it. And you full charge, one bounce.
Revealing area.
And it lands on the same spot, but it lands right on the tip. And this one does actually
Right
scan
here.
that side. So it is a better dart. The problem is you have to like, it's just like slow, because you gotta wait for the barrier drop, and then you gotta look at the wall, and then you gotta do this, and if you fuck it up
Scanning ahead.
in the heat of a game, it goes off to Narnia, and you don't get shit. So I do this one a lot more when we're running a fast strat. But if you have time to set up, the second one's nicer. That's basically for attack. For defense, there's a few. The easiest A long dart is to just go to the barrier, which I think is like here. And full charge, one bounce between these two
Revealing area.
pillars. Yeah, I wasn't at the barrier, but wherever the barrier is.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, and it'll end up in this room. You'll have to trust me on the barrier. I don't feel like wasting time to reset it. The other one, if they start breaking that a lot, or they're using the cages, the cipher cages, is you go to the shadow, and you look. There's this brick that stands off. You look just sort of bottom right off the side of that brick, and you full charge double bounce.
Revealing area.
That one lands on the roof. I may have been slightly off. A lot of
Right
times
here.
it lands here, but either way.
Revealing area.
It landed here instead, so it's not.
Scanning ahead.
The thing that's nice about this one is it's harder to break because it doesn't go across the screen, it just shows up. And also, if they put a
Right
cipher
here.
cage down here, it actually scans in the cage. So that one's a nice mix-up. It's easier to mess up, though, as well. And I think that's all of them for there. If you're helping an anchor, like if you're B and they're like, oh shit, they're hitting A, you can go into this corner.
Right here.
And you're aiming to get the dart on the under lip of this, but the way I do it is I look at this leaf thing, and I just go down until I'm just above the wood beam here. And then you just full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And that should land like this. If you're worried about getting it right, bias up, because if it lands, I mean, ideally you want it
Revealing
down like
area.
this. If it lands like
Revealing
this, it's
area.
still pretty good, but if you go too low, it just like
Right
flies
here.
off into space. But this dart is really good
Right here.
to catch them running out. So if we do that sight smoke that we do here, and even anchor in it, you might be able to help them get a kill. It's pretty helpful. I don't get to do it enough because I don't start B often. That's good. There's an ult lineup from this corner.
Right here.
So you shove your face into this corner. You then crouch and you look at this little overhang here. You look at the bottom right corner and you last bar it here, like not full charge, the one before.
Scanning ahead.
This one is not a perfect dart. There are gaps in it because it lands on this tree, so
Right
you can
here.
be like here and it won't scan you. But it scans
Right here.
most stuff around here. And really there you're looking for negative info or an ult kill. So something I do pretty frequently is I'll tell you guys to run up sewer and peek it at the start of the round, and then I will do
Scanning
this,
ahead.
and then I will run through
I
here.
am the hunter! My ult is ready.
Sewer, no, or you can panic and probably miss the third shot like I do. For C, the retake that I do is just so it's super consistent and easy, and I don't have to peek sight. Like obviously you can peek sight and just eat this.
Revealing area. Right here.
If you dial with your dart out, you look like an idiot. So the safe one is just to go against this wall, sort of shoulder check this wall anywhere along this line, and then bounce it off of, like, see this thing? It's just like to the left, bottom up to that. It's not precise.
Scanning
at all.
ahead.
It's just quick and dirty, and the timing's pretty nice so that you can be peeking as it goes down, and you don't have to peek
Revealing area.
back sight before it goes down. And all that.
Right
also
here.
for the shock darts, you
Shock dart.
bounce it just about like that. Sorry, so you have to not quite full bounce it, and it should get, so look at the top line, and oops. See, this is what happens very often.
Shock dart.
3 bar should get about the planter. Which reminds me, I do want to find the good cipher lineup, which is like this one from back here that bounces and breaks the cipher dart, or the cipher trap. But if you're just trying to do that, just aim for this
Right
part.
here.
So this is fold, just to the right of the full charge bounce. Should get there to break this
Right here.
as well. If you're execing C, I forgot about an attacking one. Sorry. If you're execing C and you're just running up and you just need to clear sight, just shoot it back here, but shoot it above these little window guys. If you
Scanning
if
ahead.
it's below the windows, you won't clear this corner. If it's above the windows, you will clear this corner.
Right here.
So just be aware of that. Because the difference between being here, is
right
that
here,
you can see this guy and all
right
this,
here,
or if you're here, they can hide. Right. So just go above the windows on that. And I think that is all the darts I use.